Hey Biscuiteers, Fuchsia here. So, today we are going to talk about the deck that can counter Evo Shadow. Kind of. So here's the deck. It's actually Whims of Chaos. Okay. Don't click off now though, because it's actually a decent deck. Like, Whims of Chaos is a good meta call when the decks are like very spammy. For example, like when they're playing like very low cost followers. And doing a lot of combos and like cost reduction and stuff like that. So in this meta against Evo Shadow, this can actually like win, as I will show soon. But yeah, the difference in this expansion is that Goblin Assault greatly reduces your hand size, which sometimes can be a problem, and it's like good removal because it's also automatic removal, and so it can like go off when Whims is played. And also Sacred Bird of Wisdom, surprisingly good. It's like a good accelerate if you really need to draw and heal. It's like a really good turn too if you want to remove something. It has free Evo, so it doesn't it doesn't like take an Evo from your Folia. And yeah, it's just pretty good. Meandering Bolt also pretty good. Basically, the new expansions cards have buffed this deck's early game, so now it's actually capable of like consistently surviving to the Whims turn. So yeah, without further ado, here are the games. Alright, so first match against Shadowcraft. This is what you came here to see. So right into it. Here we go against Evo Shadow. Okay, so what you want to mulligan for is Whims. And a bit of early removal, either like Goblin or Sacred Bird. So we got the Sacred Bird here, we got the Bahamut, which is kind of useless. We had the Whims. I played the Goddess of Rebirth here because Shadow does play early followers, and the Seraphic Blade is just useful for that, you know? And we're going to draw more cards anyway, so it's fine. You're gonna want to play the Sacred Bird on like 1 or 2. Because if you play on 3, there's a chance you'll discard your Whims. Because this bird has an enhanced 3 that's like a detriment. So you have to be careful with that. Now here, luckily I have the Seraphic Blade ready for this specific scenario, and I can go face, and this can keep removing stuff or keep going face. Of course, they play another Ding Dong. I have a Ding Dong too, which is quite good in this deck as well. I just play it. I don't play the Frost Golem, because Frost Golem is one of your key cards, because if you get Frost Golem with Whims, it's incredibly powerful against almost any deck. And especially if you combo it with Folia, which we do have too. So this hand is actually quite good, we just need to survive to the next turn. Fortunately, we do draw the Goblin Assault. Otherworld Gravekeeper evoing here, trying to go face. Here we just play Whims, and we have 2 Goblin Assaults, and watch this. Removal. Removal. 2 free removals, it frees up our hand, so if we draw an Imaginations Realize, it'll be free enough to play that. Of course, because they are Evo Shadow, and they don't have any targets, and their hand is like randomized, they just go for the best value they have, and that is Skeleton Raider. And they do put us very low here, but because I have these 2, I'm quite okay. I end up having to only play the Folia because I can't play both of them. I couldn't afford it. But even this is quite good. This is already for health restores and for HP. And like not for HP, like 2 attacks. Now usually Evo Shadow looks at that and they're like, well, that's fine, we can still like destroy you the next turn with like the reduced like Raider, right? But the thing is, with Whims active, their Raider will always be randomized, so they can't consistently play it alongside everything. They have to actually high roll the same as us. Of course, because they do have a lot of draw, they can do stuff like this. Because all the cards they draw, of course, are normal costed. Play a 3-player point Shao here. No Suzy yet, which is very good for us. Here we play Imaginations, a Meandering Bolt, deal damage, and then we play Frost Golem. Now, this might have been a misplay. I should have maybe played the Bahamut. I'm just wasn't sure what the interaction with Folia was, so I decided to play this instead. And this is already quite powerful. Look at this. These 3 Frost Golems can't be targeted, has Ward, are 6/6s. This has 5 attack, this has 6 attack, and heals us for 2. We're at 9 of course, but... There's the Susie. But they just give up because they can't handle it. That's the power of this deck against Shadowcraft. Alright, here's the second match I wanted to show against Havencraft. So, I showed you a strong matchup, a strong-ish matchup, a favorite matchup against Shadow. Now I'm going to show you like an unfavored matchup against Havencraft. Now the thing with Haven is that their early followers are high HP enough that they dodge your Sacred Bird, and sometimes they pose a lot of trouble because they can play a bunch of followers into Karmia. So in order to counter that, I plan on like, for example this, I just play the Sacred Bird even though it doesn't remove it, just because I need some board presence. So I just play it. Of course this is removed. They play a Heartbloom Warrior and don't go face. They don't go face because they already know this deck and they know that Meandering Bolt actually deals damage, actually like removes a board. So that's smart of them. I'm still going to play the Meandering Bolt, even though I have the Whims. Now we have Imagination Realize as well. Here they go, playing their survivable amulets. And playing the Karmia here, probably because they think maybe this is their chance to draw. So I just play a Ding Dong here. Make sure I remove the Karmia because that thing is dangerous. But by making sure that I kind of like clear their board, to be honest, they're a bit unlucky here because they don't have the Sanctuary or like the amulet that can reduce like the budget Anvil or the or the Unicorn. That's 1 play point. They don't have either of those, so they failed to do the Karmia game plan, early game at least. So we don't instantly lose. We have the Guiding Barrier Angels here, but they do end up being able to play the Karmia combo this time by doing this. Very good value on the Heartbloom there. And then here we go, buff it up, do 2 removals, and then do this, and then go face. They do this so that they can present a threat while we play our Whims turn, because on your Whims turn, you don't play anything else. Now they have free reign against our face, but interestingly, instead of evoing the Barrier Angel and playing other followers to pressure, they choose to play Abdiel, which I think is a bit of a mistake, but we'll see. I just play a Folia here because it's like 2 play points. Then I Imaginations. I Goblin, I get another Imagination, so I try again. And I got this. And you know how strong this is. Now, you can see the combo with Folia, which is insane. I am 7 HP, and then by removing this, and then my Goblin removing that, now I heal 10. Look at this. This is amazing. Then they play the Wilbert here, trying their best to like survive to 8, because they know when they get to 8, that's their power turns, right? It doesn't really matter the cost. You just enhance the saber and then you go face. So they sorry, I coughed a bit there. So they do trade here. And I had to think about this a bit, but because I drew the Folia, I just play it. I don't care about the other things. I just play the Folia, Evo it, and then like trade everything, and then make sure that the one trading is this Baija, because then it'll heal itself. And look at this. Look at these heals. Now I have a board again. And they can't play the Saber because they can't do anything against this. This can't be targeted. So we just win. Alright guys, that was the deck. So, does it counter Evo Shadow? If you get Whims, if you get Whims, and if you get your early games, such as Sacred Bird of Wisdom, Goblin Assault, and Meandering Bolt, and of course, Guiding Blaring Archangel, if you get these cards early enough, and like maybe sometimes Goddess of Rebirth too, there's a high probability that you'll survive through Whims, and if they don't lethal you on the Whims turn, on the turn 5, then if you have anything like Folia, or especially Frost Golem, you're basically winning at that point. And especially if you have Imaginations Realized, chaining this is like super powerful. So actually, yeah, if this deck goes as planned, which it does more often than not now, especially against spammy decks like Shadowcraft, it is a solid deck against it. Like I didn't feel bad playing against Shadow with this at all. Now, the downside is, of course, number 1, Whims is random. Number 2, you have to draw Whims. And number 3, sometimes your hand is so full that Imaginary Realized is just not amazing. And that's why Goblin Assault is so good, it thins your hand. And that's why sometimes Sacred Bird of Wisdom, Sacred Bird of Wisdom, enhance 3, discard a random card, actually comes into play sometimes. Sometimes you want to play this for 3, so that you can discard a card, so you can play Imaginations Realized. That's actually a scenario that can pop up. And you can like actually play the long game with this, because you have a lot of control tools like On Wings of Tomorrow, Goddess of Rebirth, Jupiter, and of course Folia. So yeah, step 1, draw the Whims. Step 2, survive with early game cards. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, profit. Also, enhance 3, counter artifacts. If they drop factory, just Whims and then accelerate 3, and then you have a fair game again. So yeah, pretty good. If you like this video, if you like the idea of Whims, because this is my favorite deck right now, man, like my favorite non-Haven deck, so what have you been doing to try and like counter the Shadow Menace, the Evo Shadow Menace? There's also a Bellerophon list I see going around that may be a video soon. But yeah, this is my favorite deck right now to play against Shadow. But you know that because I'm a gambler. What about yours? What's your favorite deck? And tell me in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, give me a sub. And like always, have a great day. But actually, let's actually check if this is actually Evo Shadow.